Rando Read. Anything that goes. Hi, trail mixers. Hi, newbies. This is Horoscope-ish. My name is Lindsay. This is a general read, meaning I'm going to see what pops out. So, take where it resonates. Don't try and make anything fit. And above all, we have fun here, so have fun. Life is too short to be taken shit seriously. But at the same time, I get it. I get it. All right. Rando. All right, we got Public Eye. What's the challenge? What's the challenge? 4 of Cups. Public eye, or looking good, and not a whole lot of rejection going on. That's the challenge, not a whole lot of rejection. There's always a spectrum, and there's always a different perspective. Some people want other people's lives, and people are like, I'd trade it. No, you don't. I remember the first time I saw Jim Carrey say something like, I wish that everybody could experience fame. That way they could see that it's not what you want. And I can only imagine that because of discreditation, having to watch your mouth at all times, and going with a bigger image than your personal image. Nevertheless, there's a legacy of completion. Oh, this is a legacy? Okay, so public eye, not a whole lot of rejection is like when this person or this group of people, when this collective, who this does resonate with, you don't get ignored. Not at all. It's hard to ignore you. Can you just bring on down? Look at, I mean, come on. There it is in the upright. And it's like, okay, yeah. There's another perspective to this. Not ignoring the feelings of someone who's not really in the picture. It's hard to ignore the feelings of someone who's not in the picture, or of others that are not in the picture. 7 of Pentacles in the recent past with 9 of Wands. I'm just gonna leave that right there. Don't move till I tell you. 9 of Wands, 7 of Pentacles. Resistance to the mundane. Oh, that's about learning lessons. Somebody here has built up an immunity to the same thing. But it's not done yet. 9 of Wands. It's like you've had plenty of examples of people's cap off points with skill sets and with their, oh my gosh, it's like basic, kind of like building up a resistance to anything basic. Jiminy Christmas. I'm sorry. Okay. Queen of Wands and the Ace of Cups. Queen of Wands in reverse. What's on your mind? Poker face. I'm going with poker face when I see this. Poker face. Or just understanding poker faces. Feel like Ralph Smart. I just got a hug. Who's with me? Sorry, I've just learned that there's several energies around me. We've concluded, or we've established that Archangel Michael, Archangel Raphael, Norma Jean, that one's so much fun. I mean, you're so much fun. Flirt, but it's so innocent. That's some Gemini energy right there. That is some Gemini energy right there, I'm telling you. No wonder Geminis come off so flirty. Nothing but love. But seriously, it's hard to pinpoint new beginnings in feelings because, I mean, obviously, this is like public recognition, right? Six of Wands at the heart of the matter. And, you know, kind of not being interested in focusing on anything, but at the same time, not being able to, like, the challenge is not focusing on what that cup is actually this cup. The cup in the Four of Cups. That's like, hello! It's kind of hard to ignore it. Why is it in the reverse, the Queen of Wands? Oh, also losing enthusiasm because here is the Temperance card. That's patience and waiting. But in the reverse, it's like getting impatient about a new beginning. The Magician. All right, so what are you doing? You're going to manifest. I assume this is what we all do when we go to manifest. Well, you know what happens when you assume? You make an ass out of you and me. I don't think so. I think I assume that, yes, you'd be correct. It's okay to make assumptions sometimes. I do believe that we can feel energies. What are you manifesting? What's this general manifesting? Oh, I'm just looking at the why all this started, and this is like it's so interesting. Over the last year, I've been watching all of these award show segments, or I don't know what they're called. I don't know what they're called, but in the last year or so, I've heard a lot of people mentioned Nepo baby, and for the longest time, I didn't even. You'd think if I had a question, I would go look it up, but I have too many questions, I guess, and this one took a back burner. So, but I heard it when I was younger too. Like, no, it's product of nepotism. Well, it is an ism, so it is. You know, it's not like permanent or anything, but. I guess it doesn't have to be permanent, but nepotism, right? So it's like a family legacy that has been fulfilled through nepotism. And see, I don't disagree with nepotism. I think there's spectrum pieces to it, of course, but you know, kind of like when you get to the top, are you gonna need to be humbled, or are you gonna need to Or are you going to be humbled? Like, is this a humbling experience, or is this humbling, or what's the other one? I can never do this backwards, but I think you get the point. Everything is on a spectrum, everything. So it looks like a little bit of nepotism, and the nepotism is, it has this price, and the price is, who really cares? Like, who cares? Who really cares is a product of, I guess, a side effect of nepotism. Like, you know, all the movies out there, it's actually very real life too, that explain, I don't know why I'm going into more of an explanation. Well, I feel like I need to. So, yes, I was hoping I'd have water. Woo, it's like we're going up a hill. Okay. So, but when you see in movies and stuff like that where people are, like the newest one I saw, oh my god, it was so good! Damsel. To ensure prosperity, marriage is involved, or some kind of contract, some kind of legally binding situation. Is it about the money or is it about the love? Well, most of the time it's about the money, unfortunately. But certain aspects of nepotism, man, I feel like that would be the hardest thing in the world. Hence the whole, like, losing enthusiasm over patience. Like, I realize that everybody that I'm around is lazy. I wouldn't say the Seven of Pentacles is lazy, but it doesn't try to improve. Okay, so how people are viewing, how the environment around this collective see the collective. Not much, actually. Not much. Not seeing much of the collective. And that's because of a boss authority figure that is trying to get a different perspective. Oh, wow. Whoa. About itself. Maybe about the Ten of Pentacles. Like, what's my part in this? Oh, I see a psychic stone, doodah. Psychic. What does psychic means? It means soul kinetic energy, what we do. So, are you a psychic? Aren't you? I love it because I only meet Pisces that are on that level. Like, that's why I think I love Pisces energy. So, it just walks around in the spirit. It understands soul psychic even if it doesn't understand soul psychic yet. It's like, that's okay, you know, you do it so naturally. What you don't see coming, collective, is a fabulous work opportunity that you're actually emotionally invested in too. Oh, not everybody's gonna like it. You know why? It's too hard to keep up with. Page of Wands is going through it, like, seriously. Now, this puppy, well, this panda's up in a tree, so it might be a little, I just heard nerve-wracking. Or I got in my heart space, nerve-wracking. Why? Idiosyncrasies. Okay. And then the Devil and the Wheel of Fortune comes out. Wanting out of captivity. Look at this. It's a little nerve-wracking because it's like, Times are changing when it comes to being captive, being chained up, being... So it's nerve-wracking for you, the collective that feels the you and resonates. At least the certain parts or whatever, all of it, I'm not sure. And thank you for the comments that things are resonating. And guys, these comments are great. I've so enjoyed the comments. I thought to myself, man, what if one day there's so many comments that I can't answer them all? Because I've seen some of my favorite readers have 109 comments go all the way to 1,000 comments, and I'm like, how do you get? It's like fan mail for the familiarity, for the. I mean, it's like not for me, for the resonant energy, and I do want to respond. And I thought to myself, wow, can I? I hope so. I'm going to be optimistic about it. Just a lot of you have shared your personal stories, and the strength that comes out of those stories are, ooh! So while that all is coming into play, like a brand new working opportunity that has a lot of heart in it, a lot of heart. Oh my gosh. Brings about a little bit of anxiety. Not really anxiety for the collective, but anxiety for others. I think it's because of the public eye. I've noticed that people do not like any kind of change within people in the public eye. That's so funny. Like, they're not inanimate objects. Five of Pentacles is why I'm going in the reverse. That is, like, normally I read this as spiritual poverty, which is not understanding the energy around you and seeing things as loss or like disappointment, but it's not really a big deal. It can feel left out, but this is like nobody's getting left out of this. No one's going to get left out of this. This is a spiritual understanding, and the divine guidance is you'll have a spiritual understanding. Your soul will resonate to the point of fluidity with vulnerability. That's why I love the Page of Wands and the what you don't see coming, because it has a tendency to be the Page of Wands is like a lot for some people, but not nearly enough, or it's a spectrum, right? So everything is on a spectrum. Okay, last card out. By the way, Three of Swords wanted to come out with the spiritual enlightenment, so that means I would say rule book out the window, and I'll show you why. Because the panda is depicted with swords through a book, and it's almost like, and it's a root chakra red, right? So it's like all these actions and rules have been heartbreaking from a sense of spiritual poverty, from not understanding connections on a deeper level. And what's interesting is at the very end of this, it's like a release of unnecessary drama. Like, with that Five of Pentacles, like not being sad about the journey, the path. Oh! Ooh, I just got Billie Eilish. Once you get inside, you've got friends but can't invite them. Were they your friends in the first place, is my question to you, collective. Especially if there's nepotism involved. And last but not least, oh my gosh, this is some innocent stuff. It reminds me of Stand By Me. It reminds me of that scene on Stand By Me where the boys are wrestling and like disagreeing with each other, and in order to get their aggression out, but they would still want to play, they start wrestling each other, and they're pretty hard on each other too. But at the same time, it's all fun and games, and nobody gets hurt until they start doing things that are a little risky, even by their nature, like trying to race a train across a bridge. hoping you can get across a bridge, that there's no escape unless you get across the bridge. So this is really interesting because I think the the omnipresent energy that is all of us and thereby God is going to show this collective a very cool perspective. And that very cool perspective is spiritual connectivity at its finest. I love that. I love you guys. Catch you on the flip side.